What was going to? It's your boy Spiritual J back in this motherfucker. Y'all see what the fuck going. Y'all see the title of the vid. And basically we finna be talking about why being alone is better than being in a relationship. Or why just being single at that better than just being in a relationship, you feel me? I want to start dwelling more into the spiritual content and start talking about spiritual shit for real. Because I want y'all to understand the knowledge or the things that go through my mind and my thoughts. Or I want y'all to hear the conscious part of my knowledge or the conscious part of my thoughts out loud, you feel me? I like exploring different things, like exploring, knowledge that people didn't know. I like, just like a lot of things I like to, display out loud, you feel me? So, no further ado, let's get into it, gang. Okay, look. And I'm also going to be talking about from my experience too, So, y'all, yeah. So, look. And I had just talked about this shit with my partner and shit, because it's like, a lot of things, don't sit right sometimes, people be on weird vibes. That's the main reason why I'm not in a relationship. That's the main reason why, because it's like, gang, people do too much to it, where point, like, I don't even want to be fake kicking with people. I don't want to chill with motherfuckers that's fake. I don't want none of that fake energy around, no bullshit. Because that shit just really fucks with me mentally. Like, I don't give a fuck type of person. I move how shit is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you switch up, okay, cool, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping on nothing, you know what I'm saying? Even if a bitch was to break up with me right now, I could be in love with the bitch for 3 years, 2 years. It don't matter how long, nigga. Like, we can be in love at that. Nigga, if she break up with me, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna move on and do what I need to do as a man and move on to something bigger and better and try to get some peep. That's what I'm gonna do. A lot of people be getting this shit miscrewed. They go look for another bitch instead of just, or another nigga instead of just, putting time and effort to, grinding and, just trying to push it on the map for themselves and trying to, do things better for themselves instead of just looking for something that's temporary or something that's going to make them feel good for a short period of time. Because, yeah, sometimes people fall out of love. Sometimes people lose feelings. A lot of times, people have happy evers, but that's like a 10 to 20% chance to that shit ever happening. Because, I don't know nobody, well, I know a couple of people, but I don't know that many people that last in a relationship forever or last in a relationship up to 2 years, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 years is max, game. That's the only, like, yeah. But, but listen. So this is where I want to tell people, because a lot of people think it's not okay to sit in pain alone, not sit by yourself alone, just not be alone, or this and that, third, you know what I'm saying? Everybody think you can't be alone. Gang, you have to in order to, outshine old traits, old ways, old things that bring pain or bring misery to you, you feel me, or burden to you. You know what I'm saying? Just shed old personality, shed old shit, you know what I'm saying? Try to grow out of it or try to better at, try to evolve, you know what I'm saying? That's all this shit is about. You know what I'm saying? It's evolving, changing as a person, changing as an individual, changing mentally. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even change physically. Sometimes people need physical change to feel whole. You know what I'm saying? But, people, I don't understand this shit too, because, I was going through this little experience when I was with the big Gabby, and we broke up, we departed, whatever, 2, 3, 4 months go by. She finds somebody new, after trying it for the last time, trying to get back together, and then shit, people couldn't, have a conversation, couldn't do things mature, the mature way, and could have a conversation with me like that for real. Because at the end of the day, all I wanted was a mature conversation or a sit down where we just talk things out, lay it down, or lay everything down on the table, you know what I'm saying? Get everything out the way. I really just wanted everything to be behind us and wanted us to be cool and vibey and shit like that. We didn't have to, get back together, but we could have, tried to work up to it, you feel me? But, people couldn't have that, so, things didn't go the way I expected it to, which I wouldn't, I didn't really give a fuck, because at the end of the day, everybody gonna be going, everybody do what they want. You can't control no hoe, you can't control nobody. You can't control the way they move. You can't control the way they think. You can't control the way they love. You can't control none of that shit, gang. All you can do is tell and sit there and preach, tell motherfucker this and that, don't do this and that, third. But you can only just hope for, high expectations for them, But back to what I was saying, gang. So them months we broken up, twin, they went out of their way and found somebody else instead of looking for themselves. Because me personally, I know her as a person, so I know that she can't sit in that shit alone. So she went out her way to look for somebody else. Meanwhile, I went those 4 months looking for myself, reflecting upon myself. Out of those 4 months we had been broken up, I had looked for myself, had to start taking reflection upon myself, because when we broke up, it hit me. Like, it hit me. It was like, damn, like, I didn't think we was gonna break up. I didn't think we was gonna be done this time for real. Because it was like we was breaking up, get back together, breaking up, get back together. And that shit was like draining, like overly draining. Like that shit was just draining to the max. Like, and draining is another concept of miserable, my nigga. That's how it had me feeling, because it's like, damn, why you doing this to me? Like, I ain't doing this shit to you. Like, I ain't really, you feel me? So it just had me thinking a whole nother way. But it was like, I couldn't do much about it, even though I was texting, trying to get motherfuckers back, chasing and this and that there. And that's the first time ever in my life. Right, man? I mean, right hand to the man himself, twin. That's my first time chasing any female or trying to do any of that shit, twin. That was my first time, twin. No bullshit. It was like my first relationship out of being out of a 3-year retirement of not being in a relationship because of, some other bullshit. I got cheated on, and then I just took a little break from the relationship. But it's like I went in love with the girl. I would have feelings. Eventually, I lost feelings over time, but, it was the scars that really got to me, because it was like how they did me was so crazy. Like, she kissed the dyke and let my partner hit, like, that kind of shedded the whole concept of trust and loyalty. And, because motherfuckers was sitting there crying and everything, just apologizing, this, that, third, whatever. And, I never go with people apology and shit, because words are just words. If you're not showing me action, showing me you standing on it, showing me you all about your words, fine, then ain't no way I'm going to believe what you say at all. You feel me? But off that topic. But basically, like, Gabby, she went out and found somebody else. Me personally, my point of view, well, not my point of view, I'm tripping, but me, myself as an I went out because it took me a while to get over the breakup. Not get over, because, I still got, a little, love for them, It ain't fully went away. I'm trying to work on getting it fully going, because I don't want to have no type of memory or anything like that over. And it's like, it comes back because people start speaking on name, and then, I don't want to be hearing that bitch name. No disrespect. That's how I talk. Folks don't know this how I talk. I don't mean no type of respect for anybody, yeah. But, because people be like, I talk disrespectfully, my mouth is foul, but it's like, that's how I talk, though, I know how to hold manners and shit, but it's like, that's how I talk on a daily basis. But shit, okay. So, basically, I went out and found myself, started loving myself, because I was looking, and this was my problem. I was looking for love in other people other than loving myself, other than taking initiative or taking that step to really start dwelling into just building that connection with myself, because you have to start with loving yourself. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you from the beginning to the end, my nigga. Everything starts with you. And you know, I didn't have much love while I was in a relationship with her. I didn't have, you know, a lot of it. Even though people called me attractive, fine, this and that, third, but it's like sometimes I didn't feel like that, you know. Sometimes, you know, nigga feel ugly and whatever, you feel me? But at the end of the day, I knew my purpose on earth, and I knew the purpose of me being here. I don't, you know, I'm not put on earth to look a certain way. I'm not put on earth to look beautiful, cute, handsome, whatever. Put on earth to spread love and positivity, you feel me? And reproduce, you know. That's what I'm put on earth for, you feel me? So, and I also want to let this know, everybody's beautiful. Everybody is, you know, yeah, like in their own little way, you feel me? Everybody's beautiful in their own little way, you know. All humanity is beautiful in their own little way, you feel me? Our soul is what dignifies us. Our body don't dignify us as a person, you know. Our soul is what dignifies us, you feel me? But, you know, I didn't have much love for myself when I was dealing with her. You know, my mental health was at it was at, you know, a decent peak, you know. But her mental health was all the way at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Her mental health was all the way at the bottom. So while I was trying to better myself, and, you know, even then I was trying to meditate and shit like that, but, you know, she wanted to be on the phone, you know, I didn't like to be on the phone like that. I'm not, you know, I'm more of a being in person type of person. I don't like being on the phone or sitting on the phone 24/7 because I have things I have to do in real life. You know, that's what she didn't understand. I had a life outside of just being in a relationship, even though I didn't make time for her whenever I could, you know, or whenever I did have free time, because yeah, I had a lot of things I had to do, you know. And you know, I put shit aside for, you know, jeopardize a lot of things for, you know, sacrifice a lot of shit just to be where, sacrificed a lot of things just for her to feel comfortable, or just for her to feel okay, so she don't start crashing out or start, you know, just doing stupid shit, you feel me? People don't understand it. Like, I sacrificed my money movement, sacrificed label, sacrifice me getting money from my motherfucking label, sacrifice a whole lot of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not mad about. At the end of the day, it's my fault because, you know, that means that I wasn't supposed to settle down early. That means I wasn't supposed to get with that person or be together with that person at the time. But, you know, I understand that I understand that, I feel that. But, you know, I hate that nigga Mike a bitch. Fuck that nigga, man. Bitch ass nigga. But, it's all love, though. So, like I said, like, you know, I had to take self-reflection, I had to take time to myself, I had to sit in that pain that I felt brokenhearted. Like, it wasn't affecting me physically, but it's affecting me mentally, like, you know, because it's like, damn, this shit is really over, because it's like I was with this girl while I was in high school, came out of high school with this girl just to be broken up, and it hurted, it did. It destroyed my whole perspective of a relationship. It destroyed my whole perspective of loyalty and love. It destroyed my whole perspective on everything that has something to do with a relationship. I already had trust issues at that, you know. I was a little bit insecure. So yeah, sometimes I accuse her of cheating and shit like that. But it's like, you can't blame a nigga that come from, you know, that type of, yeah, cause you can look attractive, you can look good all you want, my nigga. But if a motherfucker ain't good for you and they cheat and this and that there, cause, you know, this and that, then it's just that, you know. You ain't nothing you can really do about that. So yeah, she had a problem with me having that type of issue, but it's like, at the end of the day, that's what I was around. Plus, before I started dwelling more into the lovey-dovey shit, bro, I was a 304. If y'all know what 304 means, bro, it's a player. That's what I was, and I currently doing that shit back, because, you know, ain't nobody really, I ain't had nobody that's really trying to take nothing serious or anything. Like, people say they want to be together, but, you know, they're not showing it, you know, so, yeah. But, you know, it took that time to myself and that things of nature, and started, dwelling into my mental health, started dwelling into meditation more, started doing three session of 3 hour of meditation every day, and I had to do it every day in order to kind of, evolve into something better, or shed feelings, or shed something different, to become somebody different, or to become somebody more, advanced at that, So it was like I had to learn how to, deal with that. I had to learn how to deal with emotions. I had to learn how to communicate more. I had to learn a whole lot of things, you know what I'm saying, at that. But I do respect them and appreciate them,